Hello guys, how is everybody doing? I hope you had an awesome weekend. Sorry for yesterday that I couldn't stream. Something came up really important and I couldn't get to stream. It was getting really late and I didn't want to, do it really late at night. Um, well, today what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna go over pointers again. I'm gonna try and explain it a bit more in depth and a bit better so you guys can understand. Today I don't actually have my phone with me, so I won't be able to see like your messages on the stream. This works, okay. Wait, let me just refresh this page. And there we go, we have this. And we have that. Stream chat is not connecting. Why? Let me just try and pop this out, and then I'll try to put this in. 1 second. Oops, this is not the one. How do I pop it out? Clear chat, pop out. There we go. Okay, so I'll pop out the stream and I'll try to put it over here, I guess. I'm not sure. I'll try to put it over here. But then when I write, I'm gonna have a problem. Okay, so let's just do this and dun 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 dun. Okay, so I'm gonna try and do this so you guys can see the chat as well when you type. Um, Other than that, guys, I hope you will enjoy this lesson. Whoever didn't get a cup of coffee or didn't ready their brains, you need to do that. No, I do not have a second monitor. This is a laptop, what I'm doing the streams on right now. Hopefully soon I will get, I mean, I have a computer, but it's in my other house, which I live here right now, and then when I have free time, I go over there. Um, Personal preference doesn't matter. And my computer is over there with the second monitor and all the GTX 980 and all that stuff is over there. But yeah, so today we're gonna go over. This is our plan for today. We're gonna go back over pointer. U is for use, T is for theory. We're gonna go back over pointers, and then we're gonna go into 2D arrays, and then we're gonna go verifying input. So basically, to verify, let's say the user press A or D or S or W, then we know that he pressed it. We're going to use switch case for that. And make an actual game, guys. And that's 16 and 16. I mean, 17. I count, bro. Um, so we're going to do all that stuff, which is going to be really cool. Now, I want to say a couple of things. Um, I wanted to say that our community, you can join the link if you press the link above. You copy the link above. If that doesn't work, tell me, and I'll put a link in chat that you guys are able to use. Well, let me just refresh this so I can see all the stuff. Other than that, I hope everybody will enjoy this stream. And again, so that's the girlfriend you were referring to. Yeah. Good one, man. So, let me just lit up a cigarette because I had a tough day today. Tomorrow I have something really big that I need to do. By the way, some progresses went into the waiting room. And welcome Zarfis to be. He's a nerd developer in Inbox Art, the studio, of course, not the community side, but he's a developer over there. If you need anything from him, he can help as well. If you need any information about something, I'm sure that he'll be able to help you guys. Okay, so let's get going. So what we did last lesson is we went over pointers. So we created an array and we said this. An array is also a pointer, okay? And a pointer is also an array. Now, so basically we could refer to a pointer into being an array 0. This array 0. We could also refer to it being what is it called? Star sign and then array. And we could also do this. Now, I'll delete this because this is a bit more confusing and you guys are probably not going to use this at all. Okay, so now we'll go over some stuff, and I need to close the sticky because this is absolutely annoying to do. Okay, so let's get into the things. So what we did last time, I'm just gonna unquote these, uncomment these. Okay, so what we did last time, we made an array called JJ, and it's the size of 10, and we assigned to each one of these. To each slot, to index 0, we assign 1, to index 1, we assign 2, and so on, etc., etc. And then what we did, we created an int pointer that is equal to JJ. Now, what does this mean? We have a couple of assignments that we can do. We can do either assignment from a pointer to a pointer, which will be like this. I'll just delete this so I can make this this initialization. Now, whenever you create a pointer, it's better off to just start it as null and then assign it. So you could do, like, if you want to do testing on it or make sure that it's being assigned to the correct thing, you want to make it null at first, so it won't make your code look sloppy. It's even though it's longer, it's one more assignment, it's not going to change anything in the efficiency. And the runtime, maybe a little bit, but that's I'm sure that it's not hard for the computer to do that. So now let's create. Now they created this, we're gonna assign JJPTR to JJ. Now you may be asking, why don't we put a star sign over here? Okay, and that's completely all right. It's logical to put a star sign there, and we're getting an error as well. The reason is because both of them are pointers. Like I said, an array is a pointer and a pointer is an array. So they're both the exact same thing. The reason is that an array is basically a set of pointers that each pointer points to the box in the to the address of the box, like we said, the data type int, in the memory. So let's say we start here from this in the memory. JJ points to index 0. This is the first one, so it's going to point into memory 0001. Okay, now the second one is going to be a jump of 4, so it's going to be 0004. A jump 005, and then this is going to be, because that's the size of the int. So each one of the indexes is actually a pointer. So let's start doing this. So now we assign JJPTR to equal JJ, and as we know, this is an array. We can say that we can also do it with thingy, with a star sign as well, which is right here. And so we assign it to this. Now, what we did over here is we did plus JJPTR. What does this mean? It's basically saying not to do, like what you logically would think that it would do, is make that the index that it's pointing at, basically number 0, that is assigned to 1, will become 2. But that's not true, because we're actually doing plus to the PTR. Now, when you do a plus to the PTR to a pointer, then you don't actually do +1. It doesn't do +1 like it does for any other integer or whatever it is. It actually does +4. So you can actually go from from the first index to the second index. Okay, that's the plus when it comes to pointers. So over here we do plus JJPTR, which will basically mean that at first JJPTR was pointing at an index 0 of JJ, where JJ is pointing, and now JJPTR is going to point to index 1. Now, a quick rule, guys, that I say on every single stream that we have is always ask questions. If you don't understand something, come on Discord, I'll answer it. You want to ask it verbally, you can come on Discord and ask it, and if you want to ask it just, through the chat, then go ahead. So we do this, and then what we do is this. We basically print what's inside JJ0, okay? And then we print also what's inside JJPTR0. Now, as we said, why did I put 0 here? It's because it's also, I could do the exact same thing And this will be equal to, this is the equivalent of doing, it's something really annoying that, and that sometime it will drive your mind crazy, but in the end of the day it makes you happy. So that's love, I guess. I'm just kidding. It's amazing feeling that every time you wake up in the morning you're happy. It's like cocaine, man. Uh, okay, so what we did is we put JJPTR. I fucking hate this car. A great timing if you guys heard that. So we put JJPTR0, and now we're gonna run the program and see what happens. Come on, computer. It's very hard for it, and it just woke up. Okay, so as we can see, the first printf, which is will print JJ0, okay, will print 1 because this is the index 0. 1 is the index 0 of it. And JJPTR0 is actually index 1 of JJ. Why is that? Like we said, it boosted it up by 4 to the next index. Okay, you can also think it as 1 because it does plus plus to the second index, but what it does behind the scene is actually added by 4. And then we can see 2. So that's the pointers that we did. Now I'm going to do a couple of things. We're going to do a little kind of problem. We're going to have a problem, and we'll need to find out how to do it. Now, what we want to do is, I'll just mark this off, and this will be a better explanation for you guys for pointers, and maybe it could help you guys, whoever needs help, is basically, is basically this. What we need to do is we have 2 numbers, okay, that are assigned. Now, what we're going to do with these 2 numbers, we want to switch between 2 of them. So we have num1, which is equal to 5, and we have num2, which is equal to 10. And we want to switch between them. So num1 will equal to 10, and num2 will equal to 5. Now, there are rules in order to do that. Now, I'm gonna, you guys can do it in your own environment and try to do this as well. And like, I'm gonna go over it, and I'm gonna go step by step, and then you guys can do it as well. And I'll explain every single thing. Now, this is basically in order for you guys to understand how the whole assignment works. So, what we're going to do is, there's a couple of rules. You cannot do num1 equals to, and there's going to be another integer, which is going to be temp, that we store other things in. The temporary, so we can move num1, and basically the theory of it, I'll explain while I do it. So the only rule is that we can't do num1 equals to temp and num2 equals to num1 and then basically switch it up. We don't want to do that in order so we can sync in whatever we did with the pointers. So we're going to do int num1, int num1, which is equal to 5, and we're going to do int num2, which is equal to 10, and we're going to do an int temp, which is going to just be equal to 0 for now, so it won't carry anything, fuck's sake. And we're going to do an int ptr, which is going to be a pointer to nothing, to null for now. Now, again, what we want to do under our rules is basically move num1 into num2 and num2 into num1 without using assignments from the num1 to num2. So let's do this. So what we want to do is this. First of all, we want to save number 1. Okay, so what we do is we do ptr equals to and sign num1. Now, why did we do and sign? As we said before, and sign basically resembles a reference. It resembles give me the address of where this box or where this data type, where this we're going with boxes. We'll go with boxes because we did all the other stuff, the analogy of boxes. So it basically says, okay, we have this box. What is the address of this box? So the pointer can get to it and change whatever is in there. Okay, so basically we'll point to an address somewhere in between all the boxes, and now we're able to change whatever we want with a pointer. Now, next thing that we do, we want to actually do that temp is equal to whatever's inside PTR. So what we do is we do temp, okay, is equal to P and then star PTR. Now, why do we do star PTR? It's because it's the exact equivalent of doing an array and doing basically this 0, okay? This 0. So it will point to the first thing that in the array. Now the array is size of 1, so it has only one slot. When you do it like this as a pointer is an array that has only one slot. Think of it like that. That might help you guys. Whoever it doesn't help him, I'll just keep on explaining. So we do this. Now we basically, what we did here is that we did temp will equal to whatever PTR is pointing to whatever box it's pointing to. So it's the equivalent of doing basically temp equals to num1. Okay, this is the equivalent of doing that, but basically with pointers. So next thing that we do, after we have that, we want to switch between num2 and num1. So what we do is this. We do that the PTR is equal to, now and sign, and num2, because we want, again, to get the address from, no, there's all kinds of different ways to do it, and easier ways and harder ways. It doesn't really matter. I'm just doing it the longer way so you guys can understand better. So PTR equals to whatever the address is of num2, of the box num2. After we do that, we want to do that num1 equals to whatever PTR is pointing to. So we need to put a little star sign and redo that. Now num1 is equal to number 2, because that's what the pointer is pointing at. After we did that, now we need to go back in and switch that number 2 will become whatever's inside temp. So we do number 2, we do PTR, and we put a star sign, is equal to, okay, because whatever is inside 0 was equal to temp, okay, is equal to temp. And then we don't need to do an address because we're basically making a copy and we're not sending a reference to the address and we're not actually changing anything. So let's run this and see what happens. And we'll do printf, and we'll do this d, and then we'll do /n, \n, and we'll do another thingy d, and now we'll put num1 and num2, and we'll close this and start it, and let's see what we get. Let's see what happens, and then we're gonna go one by one from everything. So as you can see, num1, which is the first one that is being printed here, is going to be 10, and number 2 is 5, which basically means that we did it correctly. Now let's put a breaking point over here and go through one by one. So we'll start the program and we'll put this over here. Okay. So first of all, what we want to do is close this diagnostic because we don't really care about it. What we want to do is basically pin this so we can see what this is equal to in any time. Pin this to see what it's equal to in any time as well, num2, and pin this to see what it's equal to in any time as well. So as you can see, I'm going to press F10 and num1 is going to equal to 5. I'm going to press F10 again, num2 is going to equal to 10. I'm going to do also for the PTR, and I'm going to do this, 1 second, and pin this as well. Okay, and you can see that temp is equal to 0 and PTR is going to be equal to 0, 0, 0 up until now. Thank you, Mark SP. Thank you for mentioning that. Okay, now basically that PTR is null, and null basically means 0, so it's not pointing to any address whatsoever. So we go in here and we have PTR equals to num at num and sign num 1. Okay, so what will happen now, as you can see, this address is going to change. And in brackets we have 5. That's the values that is stored inside this address. So what we have here is PTR that is pointing to an address that is 0090F708. Now, as we know, addresses, or maybe not know, addresses are saved as hexadecimal numbers. Okay, so that's why we have an F in there. If you don't know a hexadecimal, it's really easy. You can just go ahead and go on Google. If you want, I could do a lesson about it. Just type in chat, and I'll do a lesson. Next lesson, I'll go over hexadecimal and some cool stuff, maybe even a little bit of assembly, so you guys can understand this deeper if you want to, if you have the desire to. So now what we did, we assigned PTR to the address of num1, which is this one. And now what we do is that we do that temp is equal to whatever is in the first slot of PTR, whatever PTR is pointing to. So we basically, what we're doing is that what num1 will go into num5. Temp will get whatever is in num1. So we press F10 and we get 5. Temp is equal to 5. After that, we do the exact same assignment as we did here, and as you will see, the address will change. So I'll press F10, and the address changed to the address of num2, which is 10. Now, what happens is that we do that num1 is equal to whatever PTR is pointing to, and PTR is pointing to num2, which is equal to 10, so num1 will now be equal to 10. So take a look over here, is equal to 10. Awesome. So now we do that PTR is equal to temp. Okay, so now we know that PTR is pointing to number 2, and we can do, what we do is that we basically we say, okay, whatever is PTR is pointing to will equal to temp, whatever is in temp. And right now, what's in temp is 5. So we press F10, and as we can see, num2 is 5 and num1 is 10. Exactly what we were aiming for, and I hope this helped you guys understand a bit deeper whatever you didn't understand last lesson. So we're going to press F10 here, and awesome, we have this, and we're going to go up and kill the breaking point. Now all this is going to be how do I delete these? Clear. There you go. Clear, 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 and clear. How we did this last time. Okay, so that, I hope that explains to you a bit better. Now all this stuff again goes into the Dropbox. I'm gonna send a link right now to the Dropbox. There you go, guys. That it goes in there, and you're able to basically learn like have all the stuff over there. Okay, now what do we have to do? We have a 2D array. Okay, so I'm gonna do a 1-minute break because I want to get water. My throat is a bit sore today. I'm gonna get water. By the way, guys, if you have any friends that want to learn as well and understand and learn how to code, this is completely for free, and we also do private lessons on the Discord, and we make games and have all kinds of contests. Please invite them in and send them the link to this Twitch, because I want to share this with as many people as we can. Okay, I'm going to do a short break of 2 minutes. I'm going to get water, and I will go back into 2D arrays, guys. Hello guys, I'm back. So let's continue. So 2D arrays. What is a 2D array? What is that? That sounds awesome. Really, really cool, but what is that? So a 2D array is basically an array like we have. So we have a list of boxes, kind of a box after a box after a box. So we have an array, that's a regular array. And we have a 2D array, which basically we could also say that it has x and y coordinates. Basically that all the boxes, there will be a row. There's a row of, I'll actually do it on paint so you guys can see a bit better. Second, paint. So let's say this is our box, okay? We're not going to contain anything in it yet. We're not going to do anything inside it. We're just going to have these little chests, okay? And we're going to select it. Now in a regular array, where's transparent? There we go. In a regular array, we have them one after another, right? So it's a box after a box after a box after a box. Now in a 2D array, what we do is we also have columns, okay? So we have also this, and then we can decide. So the line length is 5 right here. So we decide to do a 2D array that is the size of, let's actually do 3 by 3. I'll just delete these. So we decide to do a 3D array that is 3 by 3, okay? So what happens is that we have boxes, which are what stores an int or a float or a string or whatever. We have them in a kind of an array. So basically this simulates, if you think about it, this is also kind of like pixels. Pixels are a 2D dimension, two-dimensional, and they start from the top left, which is 0, 0, all the way down to the bottom right. And then that makes a 2D and also in game engines and everything like that, when you play with 2D, it's also like that. It's a 2D array. So what we do is this. In order to use this inside, inside the program, what we do is very, very simple. So we want to create an array of ints. Now we make an int that is called 2D ARR, okay, 2D ARR, for 2D array. And what we do is this. We actually put two brackets, two box brackets, I guess that you want to call them. Guys, help me in chat what is the correct name for these brackets. Wait, let me see that I'm streaming. Okay, great. And what we do is that we want to do it 3 by 3. Okay? Now what will happen is that we do equal to, and we basically do this. Okay? Now we have, in the first one, we have 1, 2, 3, okay? And over here, and now we do colon. No, not curly brackets, the square brackets kind of. And then we have another one, which is 1, 2, 2, 3. Have another one that is 1, 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 columns, and I need to surround this by brackets. Second, sorry guys. There we go. Why is it still giving me an error? Expected an identifier. What do you mean? 1 second guys, I think I did this wrong. Maybe I signed it wrong. Okay, I'm gonna call them just square brackets. Maybe like this. 1 second. I don't understand why this is not letting me. That's really weird. Zarfist, you know maybe the problem? Maybe, what am I missing here? Expected an identifier. What the fuck? No, this is 1 second guys, let me just do it again. And 2D ARR, size of 3 on 3. Let's just do that a second. to make sure that it works. No, you don't need to do a new array. This is C. It doesn't need expected an identifier. What do you mean expected an identifier? This is really weird, guys. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna do a be right back thingy, and I will fix this and come back to you guys. Okay, I'm back. Yep, Zarfis, thank you very much. I don't know actually. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'll just do array 2D. Okay. Sorry, guys. That was really weird for me. I didn't know why. I didn't actually see that. I'm a bit tired, like I said before. So we're going to do 1, 2. We're going to make brackets. What we need to do is make curly brackets, and then inside we have more curly brackets. So we do 1, 2, 3, and then we put another column and a comma, and we do another one, which is 1, 2, 3, and we do another one, which is 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now that we have this, what we can basically do, so it will look like a 2-dimensional array, and that's what I do, and it helps me a lot every single time I do it. I basically put this down, I do like this, and like that, and take this, oops, getting mixed up with everything. What the hell is happening to me today? Sorry, guys. Oh my goodness. There we go. Now the last one doesn't need to have a comma next to it because it's the last one, okay? It's basically like parameters, like we did before. The last one doesn't need to have a comma next to it. So now what we do is that we have a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We actually will do it 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9. Oh, that's annoying. I don't know. I changed it like in OBS. I changed it. If you look at the settings, there's like delay. Advanced here. The delay is supposed to be 1 second. Don't know why it's doing this. Sorry about that, about the whole stuff. Okay, so that's basically a 2D array. As we said, an array is also a pointer as well, and also this. So in order to say, let's say a pointer, and if we want to use the alternative for it, so we do arr2d, and then we put two things like this, which is the equivalent of using basically of doing arr2d 0 and 0. Yeah, I forgot. No, you can, but you can't do it in the beginning. I completely forgot about it. Yeah, I know. I'm very tired today. I had a very full day. We can say it like that. A very, very awesome, not awesome day. Okay, so what we want to do now that we did this, let's just do a for loop. Okay, now I'm going to teach you something, and maybe you didn't know this before, but there's actually something that you can do with a for loop, is a for loop inside a for loop. So we're going to create an int I, which is going to equal to 0, because we're starting with 0, and we're going to do that I is smaller than 3, since we don't want it to go to 3 and get out of bounds. Now I want to do I++, and now, as you can see here, I open the brackets, but what I do in here is I create another for loop for loop, and I will explain everything, and we're going to do int j because we already created I. We're going to do int j is equal to 0, and same exact thing, j is smaller than 3, and we do also I j plus plus, and we open the brackets here as well. Now there's an alternative for this if you don't want the brackets to open on this as well, and you're just going to use the inner one, and you could just take off the brackets and basically do that, and that will work as well. But for safe, you know, in order for us to understand it a bit better, we're just going to do this. Okay, so now that we have a for loop inside a for loop, what do we want to do? We want to basically put in, we want to print to the screen whatever's in here. Now, why do we do a thing inside a thing, for loop inside a for loop? It's because we want that it will print the whole row, and it will go row also. We want it to print the whole row, and we also want it to go down columns. So instead of it printing only this, it will print also this and also this. And we're going to create a new line every single time. So let's do this. So what we want to do is we want to do printf, and we put it in here, and we put a D sign. D sign, D, and this, and this. Okay, and now we put in that we want to print array2d, ARR2d, and we want to print it at row I in column J, okay? Now that we did this, it will basically print into here, it will print 1, because when I is going to equal to 0 and J is going to equal to 0, it's the first position, which is 0, 0. Okay, so now, yeah, it was disabled before, but now it's like I abled it. Before it was like, I think worse. I don't know. I need to check the settings. Maybe there's a way to fix it. So now that we did this, we actually want to do a new line every single time we print a row. So we'll basically do something very, very simple here. We're going to do printf, and we're just going to do a new line. New line slash n, and that's it. So now let's see what happens. I'm going to start the for loop. Oh, backslash n. Why does this not work? I did backslash n, didn't I? Oh no, I didn't. I didn't do backslash n. Sorry. Okay, so as you can see, we have it in a structure that resembles like a 2D thing that's happening here. So we have, this is our box. You have 1, 2, 3, and then it goes down 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, tell me if you guys didn't really understand that and you want me to go over it and go back into the array and actually do step by step on how the for loop works. And then you can see as well like what's happening. We're just going to do a comma over here, actually a space, to separate each one from the other. And then it will look like this, which looks a bit better. Does anybody want me to do like breaking points and go over what it's actually doing in here, instead of just keep on going, because we could just move on this. Just gonna wait for you guys to get it, because obviously the delay is humongous. One second, guys. Just wait 1 second. I'm just gonna put you over here like this with my laptop. 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Okay, I'm guessing that you guys don't want me to go over it, so I'll just continue. So now we're actually going to make a small game. Before we do that, I want to actually go over one thing, and that's how to actually validate that a user pressed a certain button. Now, what we're gonna do, the game that we're gonna do is very, very simple. We're gonna do it with characters. We're not gonna do it with numbers or anything like that. So we'll be able to be presented the screen nicely. And what we're gonna do is a very, very basic game. I'm not gonna go into also safe wall, which is a wall around the array. So basically, if the array is 3 by 3, then we'll do it 4 by 4, and not able the player to go outside of bounds, and then basically the whole program will crash because you're going outside of bounds. We're going to do just something very, very simple. So let's do verification of a certain button that is pressed. So what we do is, what the hell is that? That's gone. And I'm going to put this in thingies, and there we go. We'll put it down there. And we're going to actually make a little game. So what we want to do is this. We want to make an array of characters, so char, and then we want to make it, we're going to call it map. Okay? Now inside helper.ccp, we're actually going to do this. .h, sorry, not .ccp, my fault on that one. So we're going to do a map that is the size of, we're going to do map size. That is going to be 25 by 25. Actually, we're going to do 20 by 20 because 25 by 25 will just be too big. Maybe actually 10 by 10. I'm just going to go for 10 by 10. It's a lot easier to do. Now, what we're going to do is the following. We're going to create a map that is going to be the size of map size by map size. Okay? And we're going to do this. We're going to have these brackets, and we're going to open it over here, and we're going to do this. So we want every single one of them to be, now, one more thing that I want to say, the actual array is going to be 9 by 9 because we need to have a place for the null terminator. Okay, so we're going to do this. Okay, let's count them. 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, I'm going to do the array 11 by 11 so we won't have that problem. There we go. I'll just do it. Okay, you know what? I'll do it 11 by 10. So we won't have that problem. 11. We'll just put 11 here. No, what the fuck is happening here? Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it's really simple. By the way, the link is also in the chat for the previous videos that I did. I think you can find them very helpful. This is the YouTube link. So yeah, let's do 11, and then we do this, and just copy this 10 times. Okay, so we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's it. And 10. Sorry. Oh, no, 10. Sorry, my mistake. 9. Okay. So now that we have this, let's actually put our player somewhere. So we want the player to be us. We'll just do a U. Okay. We'll actually put him in the middle of the map, just for the hell of it. We'll just put a U here, and that's us. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is a basic game where I press W, it goes up, S, it goes down, A, it goes left, D, it goes right. Okay. And then he just picks up all the stars, and when the stars end, then that's it. Game over. Okay. So after we did this, we'll take this down. Okay, and we'll do the following. Now we want to check verification that the player actually pressed on a button. So we're going to do a switch case, and we're going to do a char, which is going to be input. Okay, and it's going to be equal to Where do we want to initialize it? Equal to C. Okay, equal to C. Or equal to null, actually. Just we'll do it equal to null and whatever. Okay, so now we want to do a switch on input. We want to do a switch on input so we can actually know what button he's pressing. So now, we're going to do the following. I'm going to do case. It's going to be A, okay? We're going to do case A, and we're going to do go down, and we're going to do case B, and we're going to do, whoops, sorry. We're going to do case B. No, not B. Sorry. D, which is going to be left and right, and we're going to do case W, which is going to be forward. Put that, and we're just going to do case S. Okay, and we do that. Now, what we want to basically do, yeah, I know you expected that. What we want to basically do is open brackets over here on each case, because we do want to do a couple of things for each one. That it will move it, and we're going to do that it gets the input from the user, etc., etc. Okay, so we have that. Okay, so what we want to do now is basically get from the user one character. We don't want to press enter because we don't want to press D and then enter. It's just sloppy, it's just stupid. So what we're going to do, that input will be equal to get ch underscore s. Yeah, I think that will work. Oh, there we go. I forgot to put thingy. Is undefined, get ch. Okay. So now what we're going to do is that input is going to be equal to whatever character is pressed on the keyboard. What the fuck is the problem over here? I have a problem somewhere. Oh, it's over here. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to continue, and the problems are going to fix themselves. This content expression type const. I don't understand. We're just going to make it equal to F, whatever. Oh, okay, I get it. Sorry guys, it's basically you need to put this instead of this. Getting a lot of errors today. I do not know why. I am absolutely tired. Okay, so you need when you do one character that it's equals to one character, you need to put when it's equal to one char, you need to put quotation mark and not two. Reason being that 2 is for a string. Okay, so we have this. Now again, we're developing kind of a game, so I'm going to have a bit of slip eyes because I didn't do this kind of thing for a very long time. I actually work on Unity and work on my own game engine, which I don't use this stuff. So I'm going to have a little bit of memory leaks on how to do some of the stuff. And I'm sorry for that, but just keep on going with me and I'll get to the stuff and I'll fix it and I'll explain and I'll do all the stuff that you need. Okay, now that we did that and we check the input of the user, we are going to do, in case it's A, and we're going to put a while loop here, and we're going to put inside the while loop a flag. So we created a bool last time, if you remember, and it's going to equal to false. False. There we go. I don't understand what the fuck is going on with here. I'm just gonna do an int that is equal to, that is gonna be end game and is equal to 0, because 0 is false. Okay, I'm just gonna do it this way and that's it. Okay, and then we're gonna put in game end game in here while end game is null. Sorry, while end game is not equal to 0. While end game is equal to 0. Fuck me, man. Then do whatever's in here. So we're basically getting the input every time he makes a move. So now case A. Now we want to make also a movement thingy. No, actually, we'll just do it in here. Okay. So now we will have also something that will resemble after we do the map. We want to know where the user is. Where's the start point? So we're gonna count this. We're gonna be 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's gonna be at column 4. He's gonna be at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's gonna be 4 by 4. So we're gonna do an int that is equal to int pos x that is equal to 4, and we're gonna do an int pos y, because we're trying to get the y and x axis, that is equal to 4 as well. And now we want a pointer to the user like we did before. We want only one pointer that you will know where the user is, okay? And then from that we can basically do the rest. And now we do char pointer, and we're gonna go call it player, okay? It's gonna be equal to map pos x and pos y. Okay? So now that we did this, map is not an identifier. Map it with the thing. Now that we did this, we have our player. We have a pointer to our player. What the fuck is your problem, man? A value type char cannot be. Needs to be double pointer. What the hell is happening here? I'll just initialize it and then. Sorry guys, I am having troubles today and this is not helping me at all. And then we're gonna have player equal to map pos x and pos y, and we're going to end this. Okay. Now that we have this done, we're going to go in here and do the following. After we got the user input, now we want to move him from place to place. So actually let me think about this, because I think I'm doing something wrong here. I have the feeling that I'm doing something wrong here, so let me think about it a second. I'm not sure, because I didn't do this for a while. I actually made a game like that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right, man. Okay, you're right. Thank you very much, man. I just got a bit confused, right? Because you're actually giving the points in, and sorry. I'm thinking on how I want to do this, because I didn't do this for a very long time. and I actually want to do this with you guys, and I think okay. Actually, we don't really need a pointer to the player, really. Okay, we don't actually need a pointer to the player. We're just going to delete this. I have something else uh, that we can do. Okay, so what we do is this. We actually take here, since we declared point X and point Y, and now if he presses A, we want him to move to the left. So what we do is this. We go to map, okay, and we're gonna go into map pause X, sorry. We're gonna go to map pause X, and we're going to go also pause Y, okay, and we're gonna make it equal to, okay, listen here, listen carefully. We're gonna make it equal to map into actually equal to this. There we go. To that. Now basically deleting our player. Okay. Now if we check this out and we actually do this, 1 second, break, add here, and we'll put this here. If we actually do this, some errors, it's probably going to be the get ch, yeah, underscore get ch. Because there's a problem converting the stuff. Oh, we didn't print the map. Sorry. So we'll do that in a second. Okay, I will show you how it works in a second. So now we basically switched the and we want to also do. Let's make a character that is going to equal to and it's going to be, we're going to call it player sign, player s. How do you type sign? Sign. No. HG. I don't remember. Player C. We'll just call player C. Now what we're gonna do is actually put a U here, so we'll be able to replace the rest of the stuff with it, and that way will be easier for us to do. Now, since we replaced it with a star, okay, and we want to move it to the left, so what we do is this. We do, because we know it's moving to the left, then we're going to do pause X minus minus. Okay, and now it's going to move 1 to the left. And then we go back into map and we do map. And then we go here and we do pause X and pause Y, which pause X got the new position, which the user is in right now, which is 4-3, 3-4, okay? And we're gonna do equal to player C. Okay, now that we did that, let's do a function. Let's try, because I don't want to make the main too big for you guys, or actually, you know what, I'm actually going to leave it inside main because I want you guys to be able to see all the stuff that I did one after the other when I actually upload it. So now I'm going to do the same thing for here. We're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. Okay. We're going to copy it to each one of these, and we're going to do that the current position will switch to this, and now when we press D, it's actually going to be plus plus. Okay. And over here, it's when we press W, it's going to be minus minus, but to the Y, because we're going up 1. Okay, it's the coordinates are 0, 0 at the top left and not at the bottom right. Okay, so we basically go, when we go up, we go minus minus. Okay, we go minus up, minus 1. So we do that, and then the player C, and then over here we do plus plus and to the Y coordinate, and then this will let us basically do that. Now what we want to do is, as well, we want to do the following. We want case E, okay? Case E, we're going to do end game. Where is it? End game. will equal to 1. Okay, and then we'll do break, and basically when we press E, it ends the game. Okay, so we take the break over here as well, and we add it to here and here and here. Okay, now that we have this, let's organize it a bit more so we have each case to itself. We have like a thingy. I'm going to add some comments for you. Move left, move right, move up, and move down. Okay, so now once we have this, finally, we are going to print the map. Now we're going to do this up here, and like we did before, we're going to do 2 for loops. So we're going to have for loop, and we're going to do int I is equal to 0, not to O, to 0. I is smaller than, since this is going to be the x, okay? This is going to be the x. We're going to do I is smaller than max map size. Okay, we're going to do smaller than map size, and then we're going to do over here I++, and we're going to open this, and we're going to do a for loop inside this, which is going to be for int j, which is equal to 0, and j is fucking hell, mate. J is smaller than 11, because over here we did 11 right here. J++. We're going to open these brackets, and basically what we wanted to do is to print the map every single time we do this. So now we'll do the following. We'll go in here, and we'll do a printf, and we're going to put a new line here, because we want it to be like a board game. And we're going to close this, and what we're going to do over here is printf and we're going to put this, and we're going to do C over here because we wanted to print characters and not anything else, and we're going to put map, and we're going to put I and J, and we're going to close this. Okay, and between each one of them we're going to put a space, just so we'll have a bit of, so it will look better. Now let's run it. Why are you giving me a problem? Whoops, I put a comma in here. Let's run it and see if we get this. And as you can see, the character is not moving. I'll need to fix that. Now in the end of this over here, and the end of the switch, we're going to do the following. We're going to do system, and we're going to put something that is called CLS, and what that does is clears the screen. Okay, now let's do this, and as you can see, we fucked up something. The player is moving, which is really cool, but we accidentally fucked up. I fucked up the X and Y axis. I did it the opposite way. I basically did the X is Y and Y is X. So let's make the opposite and call this pause X and this pause Y. Oh, whoops, sorry. Pause X. I just didn't do anything by doing that. Idiot. Pause X, and we'll switch these out. This is supposed to be pause Y, and this is supposed to be pause X, and this is supposed to be pause X, and this is supposed to be pause Y. Let's do that for each and every one of them. Just do this, and we'll reconfigure it again. And then we do plus plus over here, and we do, that's the W, sorry. We do plus plus over here. That's the D, and the D, boys. That's the Y. And this will be plus plus, that will be the X, and that will be Y. There we go. So now it should work. Let's see. There we go. We have a character, which is you, and it moves around. Now when we press E, it closes the screen, waits us to type something, and then bye-bye. Actually, let's do something pretty cool here, that when we press E, it's going to print in game over. Okay, 1 second. Sorry, guys. We're going to do print F, and then we're just going to type in here, not ones. Whoops. Shift in the wrong place, man. Game over. By the way, wait, what did I do? Oh, yeah. By the way, \T is for tabbing. So basically, you know how I press tab if I'm standing right here and then I press tab. And then it goes to the right 4. It goes 4 to the right. So that's what it does. It tabs. Then we press E, and it doesn't do anything. I think the tab doesn't work. Or I forgot the sign for it. Doesn't print it? Oh yeah, because we're doing clear screen. Okay. Let's actually do the clear screen in the beginning. So we have over here, or after it prints the map, before it prints the map. So we clear it, and then we have this, and when we press this, it does game over, and then when you make something, then it goes out. That's it. We did it, boys. We fucking did it. We made a game that you can actually move your character up, down, left, and when you press E, it says game over, and you press something, and that's it. We made a basic, very, very basic kind of 80s style game, which is really cool, guys. Now, for assignment, boys. This assignment is going to be pretty hard, so it's try to listen. It's going to be in the end of the video, because again, as well, that, you know, and then you could guys do it as well. The assignment is this. I want you to create exactly what I created here. So you have all the base stuff, and I'm going to upload this to Dropbox as usual. I want you to use functions that basically change the character's position. I want you to use pointers and everything that we learned here. And now what I want you to do is this. I want you to create 2 things. First of all, that the game ends when you pick up all the stars. Okay, once you pick up all the stars, the game ends. It says, good job, game is finished, blah, blah, blah. You won the game. And I want you to add a simple AI, which what it does is just follows the player around it. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't make you lose or anything. It just follows it around him. It follows him around, the user around. And call it D for doggy or dick, whatever you want to do. Or give it a different name. And basically that it will follow it wherever it goes. Basically try to use, when you do an AI, try to actually make it move when the player moves towards the player. There's an easy way of doing this. Whoever wants more information about that, join our Discord. I'm just going to put the Discord thingy in chat right now. Let me just jump to this and copy the link because our link is incorrect. There we go. We go in here and I'll post it over here. There we go. If anybody has any questions or wants to join the community and get free private lessons, join contests for games that will be fun, if we find interesting, will be funded towards Steam Greenlight completely for free. Okay. I'm personally gonna fund it for Steam Greenlight if we like it. Also softwares, we'll see how we do that. It doesn't have a Steam Greenlight, but maybe Kickstarter or whatever. And basically that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. As I got a request from the rest of the guys, they want the streams to be smaller and more compact on the stuff that we do. So I'm gonna try this out, and I'm gonna do this stream that it will be a bit shorter. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to do what you love and learn what you love and actually do things, okay? Um, if you guys want to bring any assignment that you already did, go ahead and just go into Discord. There's an answers tab. Type it in there. All the admins can see it, and then you'll go up the ranks from beginner developer to advanced developer. Whoever wants to be a part of the community, people that will be a part of the community, a very crucial part of the community, and will help and all that, can actually get a job offer for Inbox Art and start making games with us like Zarfis does, which he joined 2 days ago, and pretty awesome shit. So again, I hope all you guys enjoyed. I hope I was half a class in need. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll do Java. I'll go into Java. I'll try to go into Java next week, okay? I'll try to do a stream especially for Java next week, and I'm going to teach some stuff and all that stuff. So, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do Java. Okay, guys. So again, I hope you enjoyed. Please join the Discord if you need any help. Whatever, I'm always here for you guys. I will always help you guys with whatever you need for completely free. Nothing. I'm doing this for a personal reason. That I see people that don't do actually what they love to do, and they don't get the chance, or either the chance to do what they love to do. So let's say either their parents didn't let them to go into college, that you learn programming for some reason, or any other reason that you didn't get the chance to shine. I am offering you this here. You can get and you can become a software engineer over here with us and learn all the stuff. So yeah, if you need anything, absolutely anything, come on Discord. You'll be more than thinking. I'm going to be in Discord for around about 30 minutes now. If you guys need any help in understanding anything, or you have any questions, go ahead and go in there. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to invite your friends, and have a great day, everybody. Great day. I'll see you guys in a bit.